All right, welcome. We are about to take you on a visual journey right through the heart of Scotland. This is all based on an amazing 6-day tour, and we're going to see everything from ancient castles lost in the mist to those legendary locks. So yeah, let's dive into the incredible story of this country. So go ahead and put down the guidebooks for a minute. Think of this as your personal front row seat to the sights, the sounds, and the stories that make Scotland just so unforgettable. So, with that, let's kick off our adventure. Our journey begins in Edinburgh, Scotland's absolutely magnificent capital. Now, this is a city with a real split personality, a place so packed with history that its old town and its new town are both UNESCO World Heritage Sites. And you can literally feel that split personality just by walking around. On one hand, you've got the medieval Old Town. It's this incredible maze of winding alleyways they call closes, and it honestly feels like you stepped back in time. But then you cross over to the Georgian New Town, and bam, it's all grand, elegant squares and wide-open avenues. This wasn't just a style choice. It was a whole new way of thinking during the Scottish Enlightenment. This huge shift towards reason and order, all laid out in stone for you to see. So you land, you've got a free afternoon. Where do you even start? Well, first things first, you have to wander down the Royal Mile. It's the main artery of the old city. Any Harry Potter fans out there? You cannot miss Victoria Street. It's this curved, super colorful lane that's said to have inspired Diagon Alley. After that, you can check out the Grass Market. It's a really lively square today, but it's got a surprisingly dark past as an execution site. And then maybe escape to the quiet, picture-perfect Dean Village nearby. It's a real hidden gem. Okay, on day 2, things get official. We're diving deep into the royal and political heart of Scotland with a guided tour, getting into the history that really shaped the entire nation. We kick things off at the Palace of Holyrood House. And look, this is way more than just a pretty building. It is absolutely steeped in drama. This was the home of Mary, Queen of Scots, and it's the very place where her secretary, David Rizzio, was brutally murdered. It's one of the most infamous events in all of Scottish history, and you can almost feel the weight of it in the walls. Next up, we head to the iconic Edinburgh Castle, which, believe it or not, is still a part of the city's daily rhythm. See, every day since 1861, except for Sundays, they fire a cannon known as the 1 o'clock gun from the castle walls. It all started as a time signal for ships down in the harbor, and they just kept doing it. Now, as you're exploring the Royal Mile, keep an eye on the ground. You're going to spot a mosaic heart set right into the cobblestones. This isn't just for decoration. It marks the spot where the old city prison used to be. And here's the thing, there's this long-standing local tradition of spitting on it for good luck. It's one of those quirky little details that just makes the city feel so real. Day 3. We are leaving the capital in the rearview mirror and heading north. And today is all about 3 absolute pillars of Scottish culture: whiskey, golf, and some incredible legends. First stop, Kingsbarns Distillery. Here we get to see the magic of whiskey making up close. It's this fascinating process, a real transformation from simple barley into this rich, complex spirit. And the name, Kingsbarns? Well, that comes from the fact that these exact grounds were once used to store grain for Scottish royalty. Pretty cool, huh? Then we roll into St. Andrews, which is, without a doubt, the home of golf. But it's so much more than just where the game started. Get this. Back in 1764, they made a decision here that would define the sport forever. They standardized the course to 18 holes. Yeah, that number, the one every golfer on the planet knows. It was decided right here. But seriously, don't make the mistake of thinking St. Andrews is all about golf. I mean, you can explore the ruins of what used to be Scotland's largest cathedral, or you can crawl through medieval siege tunnels that run underneath the castle. You can walk the grounds of the oldest university in the country, or, hey, even recreate that iconic opening scene from Chariots of Fire on West Sands Beach. On day 4, we are going deep. We're heading into the epic, sweeping landscapes of the Scottish Highlands. This is the Scotland you see in movies, a land of breathtaking mountains, myths, and, of course, a very, very famous monster. Our journey takes us right through the Cairngorms, which is the largest national park in the entire UK. But it's not just a park. It's like a window into the past. This place holds the last great remnants of the ancient Caledonian pine forest. It gives you this incredible sense of the wild, untamed wilderness that once covered all of Scotland. And then we arrive at Loch Ness. Now, before we even think about hopping on a cruise, you should know that the legend of Nessie is not some modern tourist trap. The very first written report of a strange creature in this loch dates all the way back to 565 AD. It just adds this whole other layer of ancient mystery to the whole thing. At the southern tip of the loch, we find the village of Fort Augustus. And here, you can see a true marvel of 19th century engineering, the Caledonian Canal. The absolute highlight is watching the boats navigate the spectacular Flight of Five locks. It's like a staircase made of water that connects the canal right into the famous loch. On our way back, we make a stop at Spion Bridge. It's here that the powerful and really poignant Commando Memorial stands silent watch. It's a tribute to the soldiers who trained in this incredibly rugged landscape during World War II. And from that spot, you get one of the most breathtaking views in all of Scotland, looking out towards the majestic peak of Ben Nevis. All right, it's day 5 and we're starting our journey south. We're focusing on 2 absolutely iconic spots: Stirling Castle, the strategic heart of the whole country, and Loch Lomond, probably Scotland's most famous and beautiful loch. There's an old saying, "He who holds Stirling holds Scotland." And that just perfectly sums up how important Stirling Castle was. For centuries, its location was everything. It controlled the key crossing point between the Highlands and the Lowlands. If you held this castle, you basically controlled the fate of Scotland. The story of this castle really is the story of Scotland. It was right near here that William Wallace and Robert the Bruce won their legendary victories during the Wars of Independence. And it was inside these very walls that the infant Mary, Queen of Scots, was crowned. This place is truly a crucible of the nation's history. From epic history to incredible scenery, our next stop is the picture postcard village of Luss, right on the bonny banks of Loch Lomond. People have lived here for 1,500 years, but the charming little village you see today, with all its beautiful stone cottages, was actually built in the 1800s to house workers from the local slate quarries. And for our final day, we arrive in Glasgow. This place used to be called the second city of the British Empire because of its industrial power, but it has totally transformed into this vibrant, modern hub of culture, art, and, as you'll find out, some of the friendliest people you'll ever meet. Any tour of the city has to start with the magnificent Glasgow Cathedral. It's the only one on the Scottish mainland that actually survived the Reformation completely intact. But beyond that, the city is just bursting with life. You've got world-class art at Kelvingrove, incredible street art on the Mural Trail. Glasgow has truly reinvented itself from an industrial giant into a vibrant, must-see cultural destination. And there you have it, a whirlwind journey through the landscapes and stories of Scotland. We've seen royal scandals in Edinburgh, stood on the hallowed grounds of St. Andrews, hunted for monsters in the Highlands, and felt the pulse of modern Glasgow. So after all that, I guess the only real question left is, which chapter of Scotland's amazing story are you going to dive into first?